What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 60 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's here along with my co-hosts Nick Theories, Mikey P, and Philly Phil. We want to thank everybody that's tuned in to the live stream tonight. If you haven't done so already, please share it so we can get more viewers in here. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to us and share the word. Mikey P, take it away.
Did you say 60 episodes, Mike?
Yes.
60?
I'm looking forward to 9 more episodes.
Holy shit.
Looking forward to 9 more of them things.
Damn. Thank you to everybody for getting us here. And we are happy to continue. We are just getting started. You know, we always say that. We're just getting started here at P&I. So I'm going to start us off right now, actually. Okay?
Yeah.
P&I. Episode 60 is brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New users who sign up for Prize Picks today using the promo code ICONIC will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Promo code ICONIC. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Also, check us out live right now on the Props Network at propshq.com. Be sure to subscribe to us there. Keep up with all of our show news. One other update for you guys. All right? Next show. Moving it back a day so that everybody can be here. It's going to be this Wednesday, March the 2nd, 8 p.m. All right? So next show, Wednesday, March 2nd, 8 p.m.
It's
See you there. New month.
It's fucking lit. Yo, we need some fucking energy in here, man. What the fuck's up, man?
No.
What's up with you guys, yo? Let's talk. What's up? How was your weekend?
Here, you know what?
How was your weekend?
A little.
It was fun.
Yeah?
Kyle got married. We had a great time. Congrats, Kyle and Emily.
Kyle.
I can't believe I was invited. I was shocked by that. I was excited too.
Nah, I'm not gonna say that, man. That was fun as shit.
That
We
was
had
a
good
funniest
time,
wedding.
man. Congrats, Kyle, again.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank you for
Congrats.
having us. We appreciate it, man.
Yo, I got something for you guys to get us started. All right, before we get started with the actual segments, did you notice that Aaron Rodgers was left out of Green Bay's London promo?
Been screaming.
Did you guys notice that?
No, I actually didn't.
No, I actually didn't watch it, but I mean,
I don't pay attention to him. He booted.
it is what it is.
That's
You
kind
could
of a big
take it for
deal.
what you want.
It's kind of a big deal.
He's
I
not
think.
giving him anything. Like in terms of they're in limbo too. I mean, I thought the decision was coming by the end of February.
I know, but like leaving him out in the video, like, do they seem miffed about it? Like, I don't even know. Like, is he miffed? Like, if their relationship is so dandy, then who cares?
Maybe they're just over it.
He's as good as gone, fellas. That's what I'm thinking.
Could be.
He's as good as gone. They know it. We know it. But the next move is the part that we don't know yet. So, also, Derek Jeter stepped down from the Marlins job. That was interesting. Kind of out of nowhere after he did a pretty good job over there.
Yeah, he did.
So, there's that. And also, this is going to be our segue. I just saw that the Sixers are expected to aggressively pursue DeAndre Jordan as their backup center. Stay tuned. Interesting, but that's actually a perfect way to lead off, okay? We're talking Sixers because we have to. Did you guys see James Harden?
Bro, straight fucking cooking.
That's what I'm talking about. I didn't know this was coming on. It's the best. That's the best song in the NBA.
You know it. You know it. Here come the fucking Sixers, baby.
It's the best.
Two games in, James Harden goes off. Tyrese Maxey goes off. Joel Embiid goes off. The Sixers win 2 in a row with James Harden on board. Oh my goodness. And it was not just 2 in a row though. This was historical what we saw. Okay, let me tell you a little something to start us off. Embiid, Harden, and Maxey combined for 176 points in their first 2 games together. That is the second most in NBA history, behind Wilt Chamberlain, Paul Arizin, I can't even pronounce this, York Larice, 193 points in 1961. This is the best we've seen since 1961. You couldn't have asked for a better weekend. You couldn't have asked for a better weekend. All right? So that's how we're starting this shit.
We're legit.
James Harden, Sixers, what are your thoughts? This is completely freeform, okay? What are your thoughts right now?
Instant thoughts, man. Like, yo, this team is fucking scary, yo. I love watching the Sixers now. It's fun to watch because, like, Embiid, like, he deserves this.
He's happy.
He deserves to have somebody that can take, like, the weight off his shoulders a little bit and score and be lethal with the basketball and dish it out and get other people involved. Like, Maxi's a beast, bro. Like, we talked about on the last show, you know, like, he's probably our 3 now. Like,
he is our
like
3.
Fuck Tobias. I mean, I know last show we were talking about Tobias. He should be, you know, he should have more space and be able to facilitate the floor a little bit more, take better shots. But, like, honestly, he's been struggling since Harden. I know it's only been 2 games. It's basketball. It's a long season, so I'm not going to put too much credence into 2 games. But, like, I've never really been much of a Tobias fan as it is. Just, like, I think because it's, like, the Sixers signed him to a max contract, so that kind of, like, soured me a bit as far as, like, being a fan of him, because I don't think he's a max player. But I like him. I don't think he fits with the Sixers, like, next year for me. But, like, overall, I loved, like, the Sixers. They look great offensively. They're fantastic to watch, man. Like, I look at them and I look at the rest of the East, and I'm like, bro, like, who could fuck with us? Like, who could fuck with us for real? Like, if we could score like that, like 125 a game, like, we're good, dude. Like,
We probably are, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, like, Embiid alone was responsible for 61 points.
he's a monster.
So between his points and his assists, at minimum, because I didn't even calculate the threes. But it's just, you see it, and I felt like that game was like getting ready for an Eagles game on a Sunday. That's how much buzz there was. And then did you see what James Harden said afterwards? He said that New York felt like it was a home game. And he was saying he can't wait for tomorrow night, which I can't either. He's just, like, it's funny because when the season first started out, like, he looked out of shape. He looked like shit when he first started. But he just was uninspired, unhappy. And like I said, how could you be happy in that situation? You have a head coach you don't really know what he is. All the drama with Kyrie. Kevin Durant, it's like, in the beginning he was fine, but Kevin Durant gets a little nicked here and there now. So he missed some time. But, I mean, he just looks, he's happy, he's smiling, he's energized. And to be honest, like, for me, the best thing is like, I feel like Maxey and Thibault are benefiting the most. Like, Thibault was averaging 5 points a game. The last 2 with Harden, he's at 9.5 now. So, because now, like, when you put Maxey out there who can shoot, you got Harden that can shoot and Embiid that can shoot. Now you have a free lane for Maxey to
yeah, like, I think you can push the floor a little bit more. Like,
100%.
You have so much more, like, open lanes to you know, facilitate and get easy baskets. Like, that's
I know.
major.
And the thing with for me with Tobias is he's a little bit lost right now. I feel like, but I think he'll figure it out. But he made a big shot against the Knicks towards the end of that game when they were making a little bit of a run. So he'll figure it out.
Half, he eased up a little bit.
Bro, he had
half.
0 points, bro. Like,
I know. It's tough.
Bro, I was like, does he have a stat line? Like,
He was out there doing
First
cardio.
game.
Yeah.
First game, he was being asked to do more defensively, so I didn't really care about that. But he definitely looks a little lost. I'll agree with you guys. And that would be my only concern right now. That was my follow-up question, was what are your concerns? But we'll get there in a second. I mean, otherwise, like, I'm not one to overreact. I don't see how you can't. Mm-hmm. How is this duo going to be stopped? I should say trio. Tyrese Maxey was unstoppable.
Yeah, include him.
Absolutely unstoppable, shooting at a high percentage.
He's a beast.
I mean, everybody just looks comfortable. It's only 2 games. Remember that? It's only 2 games in, and they look like they adjusted as if they've been teammates forever. It looks like they've been teammates forever. So much for that adjustment period. The defense even. I mean, James Harden even looked good defensively.
The thing is,
am I the only one that saw that? I thought he looked good on defense.
No, he did because he's engaged. But the thing is, too, is
He's
like
happy.
the thing. It's like you see. I tweeted at Jason
You're
McIntyre. I tweeted at Jason McIntyre, and he responded back because I'm a master troll. And I wanted to actually try and get him on this podcast, but after his take today, saying that Harden and Embiid aren't a top 5 duo in the East, he's not worthy to be on Psychotic and Iconic.
Bro, I would love that.
He could stay on Fox. I just tweeted him. If you're watching, stop that nonsense. You were paid to say that because you do not believe that. There's no way in the world.
We're going to have to clip that.
You
and
are
send it to him.
banned from P&I until further notice.
He is banned from P&I.
Clip and send.
Yeah, no way. So enough
Mike,
of that.
what did I tell you earlier? He was paid.
100%.
He
He
sold
sold
his
his soul. Yeah. I love
Bro,
it.
It has to be because there's no way a human being that watched the first 2 games with Harden and Embiid believes that. There's no way. And if he believes that, show me a top 5 that is better than Harden and Embiid.
Well, he said,
and I'll show you a liar.
Yeah. No cap. No cap.
You know what I mean? Like that's how I'm arriving.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like if you were to say Durant and Irving, I'm like, all right, I got you. But Harden and Embiid are better than Giannis and Drew Holiday. They're better than Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo.
Can you put Kyrie and KD together as better than
as
Harden
a duo?
and Embiid?
I wouldn't. But if you're going to make that argument,
together.
I would let that argument happen because Kevin Durant is.
Yeah, well,
when he's
KD is
healthy,
KD.
yeah, he's the best player in the
Will they
NBA.
both be on the floor?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but I mean, even off of that, it's just like it's James Harden, dude. Like not for nothing, but he's a better passer than Ben Simmons. He can facilitate. He just has a bad narrative around him. He can facilitate, and he's more lethal because he can stop and shoot.
Well, actually, this is a perfect timing. Tom Doherty, I want to give him credit for this stat. James Harden, 28 assists in 2 games. 28.
Mm-hmm.
That's an average of 14. That's unbelievable.
Easy.
And he's averaging over 20 points. Easy. I mean, just easy. Everything looks so easy. Embiid even, I mean, I'm going to reference Friday, but the first half of Friday's game, Embiid didn't even look that great in the game, and he still finishes with over 30.
He went 0 for 4 from 3. 0 for 4 from 3, and we put 125 on him.
Yo, I would honestly say, like, the team almost seemed uncomfortable with how open they were starting Friday. Like, they didn't know what to do.
Energy.
They were so open.
Energy matters.
They really were wide open.
Because they're all playing
Wide
together.
open.
They're playing together. You don't have that cancer on the team anymore. Like, you don't have that in the back of your head. Like, oh, Simmons here, Simmons there. That shit's gone, bro.
And real fast, so we could talk a little bit about that. We got a few minutes. Ben Simmons, hope and optimism that he will be ready to play by the playoffs is insanity. Now his back hurts.
Absolute insane.
He's another one, just like Anthony Davis. Tore his labia out indefinitely.
Bro.
That's exactly what it is. I don't understand it. Don't understand it. Apologize to all the women watching the show, but I'm keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how he's just getting a pass for this. Goran Dragic hasn't played, and he's already suiting up.
Yeah, not for nothing, though. Going back to, like, Kyrie, like, I feel like he gets a pass, too, bro. Like,
what?
he hasn't done shit since, like, the Cavs really won.
No.
I mean, look at the history. Like, he was, like, Boston, he ran his ass out of town. Like,
Kyrie's just unpredictable.
That's my point.
You never like.
So my thing is this: how can we put KD and we put Kyrie together and say they're better than Embiid and Harden? How?
So real fast, my thing.
Like, if we're going off talent alone, cool. But I can
Yeah.
put two other players together and say the same shit.
Let me say this real fast. With Kyrie, I feel like when you're a sports athlete and you're one of the best in the world, it's around the clock. With Kyrie Irving, I feel like he treats being an NBA superstar like being like a 9-to-5 job. He shows up, does his job, and goes home and goes about his business and doesn't think of it anymore. And that's not great players.
No, you got.
That's not LeBron's, KD's, Giannis. They don't take random 3-week go on hiatuses and sabbaticals because of some crazy shit going on in the world. Like that should be your sanctuary. That should get you away from everything.
No, I totally agree, man. And like, and the thing with like Ben Simmons, like with like his whole situation, is like, bro, like you haven't played in a year, dude. Like, how are you getting hurt? You're training. That's how you're getting hurt. Like, I'm just so confused by that whole situation. But I'm so fucking happy the Sixers got rid of him. Like, I've been saying we should get rid of him a long time ago. Like, I always said the Sixers are never going to win with Embiid and Simmons. You got to trade one of them. This was before Embiid really kind of like, you know, made a name for himself in the league. You know what I mean? But like, I just didn't think those two like could coexist.
Yeah.
And
like,
looking at Simmons now, bro, it's like, dude, like, let me take fucking work off for a fucking whole ass year. Let me get paid millions and sit on my fucking ass and then say I got a back injury. I would love that shit. I mean, what the fuck? Like,
for
real.
If he's doing this just to be able to sit out on March 10th versus the Sixers, what's going to happen if the Sixers face the Nets in the playoffs? Are you going to sit out all those games?
No, if the Sixers play the Nets in the playoffs, there is no way in the world he plays in that series.
The whole series?
There's no way. There's no way. If you can't handle a game in
from
March,
the NBA, then.
Yeah. If you can't handle a game in March, and you couldn't handle the crowd when you were a home player. I said this on like episode 3. You had a fan in there showing emotions how to shoot free throws and telling them you got it. The dude with the blue shirt on, I'll never forget. What more do you want?
He wasn't crushing him. He was actually cheering him on and encouraging. Yeah, like it was good. It was positive energy.
It's crazy. It's unbelievable.
James Harden,
it's a joke.
James Harden in 2 games tied Ben Simmons' 3-pointers with the Sixers. That's 5 in his whole Sixers career. James Harden had in 2 games. And again, like effortlessly, like a couple of them 5 feet beyond the arc, in people's face. I mean,
it's beautiful.
It's just refreshing. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think Steph Curry's an MVP candidate? Honest question. And you'll see where I'm going to bring this in.
I know exactly.
I need to know.
I know exactly where you're going with it.
Do you think he is, though?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell no.
Like top 3 MVP candidate.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Like, bro, do you know there's like 40 games left in the season? Like, this guy can like pop off anytime. Of course, he's always in the conversation.
All right. Well, after he reads these stats, now here's the thing. I didn't talk to Mikey at all about this today.
All you want.
Just read the stats
I
because
am going off of
Harden.
impact.
No,
that's fine. And Harden is better than him in every category except one.
This is important, by the way. This is important because remember, James Harden's washed. He's washed. He can't play anymore. Okay, he's old. The contract's not valuable. They're going to let him go. It's a horrible deal, okay? The Sixers lost the deal, right? James Harden, points per game, assists per game, rebounds per game, field goal percentage, okay? The only thing that he does not beat Steph Curry in the last 25 games, remember, MVP candidate. Everyone's been saying it, top 3 candidate, right behind Jokic, right? The only thing that James Harden is behind Steph Curry in is 3-point percentage, and it's literally by almost a percentage and a half. That's how close it is. James Harden is outplaying Steph Curry, your MVP of the Warriors, over the last 25 games. Only 2 with the Sixers. And you saw what it looks like with him in the Sixers uniform. I mean, he's washed, though. He's washed.
Super washed.
The Sixers lost the deal.
To me, it makes sense, though. I mean, like, last year, the Warriors they didn't make the playoffs, bro. Like, they were only 6 games over 500. This year, they're second in the West. So to me, it makes sense. Like, he's carrying his team. He's propelling them to an upper echelon team in the NBA. Whereas last year,
they just need Drake.
In the last 2 years, they got hurt, they had injuries, and it was just a bad season. But now it seems like they have something going over there in Golden State again.
Oh, they're always a threat. I was only kidding because I knew the stat you were saying.
They're great, and Steph's great. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying James Harden, I mean, it couldn't be more opposite. He's clearly the furthest thing from fucking washed. Everybody saw it. Okay, the guy needed some motivation. Now, okay, our concerns, I would say what? Getting the depth involved a little more, getting Tobias on track. I mean, is there anything else that concerns you? Real quick, though. Like, is there anything that concerns you right now?
Not much. I would say we need some bench work. But to be honest, the only thing good about not having a good bench is Doc can't deploy that all bench lineup bullshit in the playoffs. So I prefer not to have it. I prefer not to have a bench at this point.
I will say, when I was watching the Knicks and the Sixers, it looked like the low point for the Sixers offense was when Harden was on the floor by himself with he was on the 4 bench players. Yeah, with bench players. To me, that was like, it allowed the Knicks to catch up a bit, and they did. But then, once you put Embiid back on the floor, it was a blowout.
Now, one thing too, real fast.
But against a good team, they could capitalize off that. So they got to watch. They got to make sure that they're putting the right pieces together on the floor at all times, because you don't want to have that flat, part of the game to allow a good team to come back in, because once they're back in the game, they're not going away. Like, the Knicks went away because the Knicks are the Knicks.
We need that. Better. Harris is going to have to learn that when James Harden goes down, that's where he has to step up and be the scorer.
Right.
And I'm sure I do believe in him. I don't trash Harris. I like him for real. But that's where he's going to need to step up.
And he has to take open shots when he's open.
Yes.
There were several times. There was at least 4 or 5 times that I remember where he had an open shot and decided to take it to the bucket. Just shoot the damn ball. All right. It's a matter of comfortability. He'll be fine, I think. I mean, that's a guy where he actually does need to find his place a little bit, and 2 games might not have been enough. But if he gets going, guys, if he just averages 15 a game, like, how is this team losing? They were up by 2 with like 3 minutes left. They won by 16. It's just easy. They can turn this shit on anytime they want.
I agree, but averaging 15. Look, I get it. It's the role he's gonna play, but averaging 15 for a guy who's a max player, that should be no problem.
Well, yeah,
I mean, like for real, bro.
Not even talking about the contract. I'm just saying, like, that's pretty fair. 15. If you get 15 out of him, and you're getting these numbers from the other 3, there's gonna be very few teams that can match what we do. So I have no problem saying. I'm gonna say it again. They're going to the finals. They're going to the finals.
No cat.
I don't give a shit about overreacting. They're going to the finals, and they should be the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this though.
I'm not an over-emotional guy like you guys.
I'm not even like, look,
That's
winning is great. Like everybody's happy when you win, right? I want to see the Sixers when they actually go on a little skid, like a 2-game skid. I want to see how they react.
The next 7 games,
Good,
you'll find out
good
a
you
lot
said
about
that,
them.
Nick.
I really do want to see it though. I'm not rooting
glad
for
you
them
said
to go
that.
on a spiral here, but I just want to see how they respond to adversity.
No,
right?
this is good, Nick. This is good. I'm glad you said that because this is how we're going to end it with the Sixers, all right? Their next 5 games, they got the Knicks at home. They got the Cavs at home. A back-to-back with Miami right after the Cavs game, okay? Then they got the Bulls at home. Then they got the Nets at home. What's the Sixers' record in the next 5? Right there. What's their record?
4-1.
Just curious. I'm thinking 4-1 too, because that back-to-back's going to be tough.
That's where I think they're going to get a loss.
Say the schedule again. I'm sorry.
You got Knicks in Philly. You got Cavs in Philly 2 days later, and then you got a back-to-back with the Heat in Miami. And then you got the Bulls in Philly 2 days later. 3 days later, you got Ben Simmons and the Nets in Philly. 4-1.
Yeah, I'll say 4-1. I think they lose 1 to the Heat.
The Heat one is the one I'm worried about, only because
split.
it's a back-to-back. But,
Yeah,
I mean, I
right.
wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if they went 5-0. I wouldn't. Until proven otherwise. I think they're only going to get better. Like, that's the thing.
And the Heat are good, bro. Like the Heat, they're not a slouch team. So to go 1-1 against them, like that's not like a concern for me.
Great.
Like that's actually that's great. You know, like if you're going off the schedule, playing the Knicks, playing the Cavs, Heat twice, then they got the Bulls. Like that's a pretty tough stretch. But overall, like I think like they're gonna go 4-1. But I want to see them. Like I just want to see how they react after a loss. That's kind of what I'm next. For me, for the Sixers, like I know they can play. They can compete with the best of them. Anybody, like any team in the NBA, for what that matters. But I just want to see them, you know, in a tough situation and see how they respond because that's where like you'll see your leadership on the team, and leadership takes you places, and leadership wins you championships. So for me, like I definitely want to see that as my last like checkmate on the box, I guess. That's my last thing for the Sixers. But
well, Nick, you're gonna find out. I promise you that. We're gonna learn a lot over these next 5 games, and the Sixers' schedule overall is pretty difficult for the second half of the season. So we'll see. But we have to keep moving, okay? We got more NFL to talk about. All right, Phil, hit that shit. Pause.
Let's talk about it. Real shit.
Damn, throwback.
That's facts.
We got some interesting news today, and I'm happy we held this one off. We have to talk about Kyler Murray, okay? Kyler Murray, this is an interesting subject that came almost out of nowhere. Everybody already knows. I'm going to summarize it for you. I'm going to describe the situation, and we're going to break this shit down for everybody, all right? He scrubbed all of his Instagram photos. He unfollowed the Cardinals on every piece of social media to start, and then Chris Mortensen reports he's frustrated with the franchise. He's being framed as the scapegoat. He was set up to be embarrassed in the playoffs. And the people in the building think that he's self-centered, lacks leadership, right? Okay, so the odd vibe is, quote, alarming, Mortensen says. And then, I mean, there's supposedly veterans that are going to reach out and teach him how to be a leader and face adversity a little bit better. Today, Kyler's agent posted this long-ass thing. I don't know if everybody read it because it was just way too long, but...
Pause.
Yeah. Yeah, it gave you pause reading that whole fucking thing. So the theme there is he wanted to state his desire to win a Super Bowl and that he wants to be the long-term answer for the Cardinals, basically pitching that he needs a long-term contract from the Cardinals, which, who the fuck does that? Like, I mean, third or fourth year player going out there and basically begging his team for a contract publicly. Kind of a weird look there. So we gotta break this down.
I can tell you who does that. A selfish person would do that. But go ahead,
It
carry
sure
on.
sounds like it, Nick.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this situation, guys? And then we got to decide where we think he's going, because I'm not so sure this story's over. I don't think we can dismiss this after today's news. I don't think we can automatically assume he's staying in Arizona.
I do think he's staying in Arizona, but I think he's sweet. I think he's a bitch.
I think so too.
After he has accomplished nothing in his 3 years in the league, except some flash plays. He made his first playoff appearance this year. As soon as he lost his rock star wide receiver, trended downhill the rest of the way. And then, I mean, obviously, I've been on record a million times. I don't like Cliff Kingsbury to begin with, but I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury is going to be able to get Kyler Murray, if there is a next level, to that next level. But for him to come out and say he's being scapegoated for the playoff makes no sense. You were terrible. Like, I don't understand.
Facts.
Like, yeah, your offensive line was getting overwhelmed, but Joe Burrow played that offensive line. Tom Brady played that offensive line.
Odell Beckham had more passing yards in the third quarter than Kyler Murray at one point in the game.
I know. Kyler Murray he's deflecting the blame now. If he was a real leader, he takes that loss on his shoulders.
Absolutely, bro.
That's how you signal to the guys in the locker room, this is my shit. This is my team. I'm the leader of the team. When everything is bad, I get all the criticism. When everything is good, you dish out all the compliments. That's what leaders do. He's not a leader. And then after your third year, you want a contract? Dak Prescott vibes.
I'm telling you right now.
He's going to start getting franchise tagged and all this crazy shit. And if they don't win this year, then they're going to start calling with the clean. Like I said, if they start out, 3-4, 4-4, they're going to start calling for Cliff Kingsbury. Now you have to get in you're going to have an interim head coach. Then you're going to have a new head coach, a new offensive system that he's going to have to learn. Come on, man, take some responsibility. It happens. You lost. Shit happens.
His game. He's got to improve his game and his character.
Yeah, and
now.
one thing I love that. I love that comment, Mike. And one thing is like, when quarterbacks get shit on, like ones that are like underperforming, like such as my guy Baker, they were coming at his play, not at him personally and his character. Like, this is a whole different thing with Kyler Murray. So this is what happened with Carson Wentz with Alshon Jeffrey and Malcolm Jenkins. Doesn't lead to good things.
Yeah, like,
it's sour.
For me, it's just total immaturity, man. You wiped out like your Instagram, on the Cardinals uniform, whatever, right? All the photos, you wiped your Instagram. Like, bro, like, are we like 17 years old? Like, bro, like, you lead a franchise and you're wiping your Instagram? For me, I'm trading your ass. You're gonna wipe your Instagram, but yet I want you to lead my team? Fucking crazy. You're fucking crazy out of your mind. I'm trading your ass. I'm getting fucking 4 first-round picks for your bitch ass, and I'm saying goodbye. The man only had 3 300-yard passing games this year, and he wants a new contract. Like, who the fuck's he, bro? Like, I don't understand this. He's the same thing every year. He's been seriously consistent. 2019, he had 3,722 passing yards with 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Then he had in 2020, 3,971 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. 2021, 3,787 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 10 picks. That's literally consistent. Consistently just might get you to the playoff.
Mediocre.
Wild card, cool, bro. But what the fuck did you do, dude? Like, you didn't do anything. Like, for me, it's just like, I'm just tired of all this baby shit, bro. Like, the problem is that all these high profile players, these quarterbacks, they have all the leverage. I could leave your franchise and leave it all in turmoil, and you can have to draft somebody, and whoever you draft, he might be ass too. So it's either you pay my ass or I'm gone. See, like, that to me, that's corny. Like, to me, that's fucking corny, bro. Like, where's the loyalty anymore?
Let me add to what you just said, Nick. Let me add to what you just said, because I actually, and you guys know, I was on the Kyler side of the Kyler versus Baker debate, and he was performing at an MVP level for about a month and a half. All right, midseason comes around, and it was like he saw Gosa last year. Okay, he didn't improve at all in the second half of the season. I mean, the team won another 3 games. All right, so they had a 3-win improvement from year 1 to 2, and then another 3-win improvement from year 2 to 3. That's a nice accomplishment. But I could argue this, as Nick just said, with the consistency factor. I could argue that his game hasn't changed since he was a rookie. And this is, I'm telling you, he's a top 10 quarterback, and I don't think he's improved any one aspect of his game since his rookie year. I think he's kind of been the same player. He's a good player, but I need to see if this guy is actually willing to grow his game.
Oh, Kyler
and then
Simmons.
obviously he needs to grow as a leader. That's alarming to me. Mortensen put it best. It's alarming. And again, this is me. I'm telling you right here. I was all aboard that train in the first half of the season. Everybody saw what was going on, and yes, the Hopkins thing hurt, but again, we got the arguments behind Burrow and other guys who have equally as bad situations.
Love it, Mike.
He didn't show up, and he's blaming everybody else. So I have a problem with that. I think we were saying this midseason, like year 4, post playoff berth. We're going to learn a lot year 4. I think that his whole future is hinged on this year. I'm not even so sure that he don't get traded. But Nick said it right. Actually, I think it's going to probably be a 4 first-round pick price tag, and I don't know anybody that's going to pay that after this news came out.
4 first-round picks?
Bro,
that's insane.
Bro, you're paying 4 first-round picks just to go to the wild card and get bounced out the first round.
It's
like, to me, it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense, bro.
You know what else is funny? It took Kyler Murray 3 years to make the playoffs. 2 of those years he had DeAndre Hopkins. Jalen Hurts made the playoffs in his first year. Who's on a better trajectory?
Well, I'm not about to take it that far. It is.
I'm taking it that far.
However,
I
mean,
these
there's something to be said about a guy asking. He's probably going to ask for $50 million a season. I'm going to bet you that he asked for almost around 50 in his first negotiation. Okay, he's going to ask for a record-setting contract.
Bro, who do you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton?
Bro, can
that's my point.
50.
This is ridiculous.
Bro, we're talking.
That he's asking
$50 million a year for what? For 24 touchdowns and 12 picks? Bro,
and that's the thing is obviously he sees himself differently.
He's getting paid $2 million per touchdown pass.
Probably because he's too short to look in a mirror. That's why he sees himself differently.
We're talking like this guy has won a Super Bowl before. Like, I don't understand, bro. Like, who the fuck is he to do that, though? $50 million. $50 million.
Go off, fam.
Crazy,
you take this,
bro.
Exactly.
Tom Brady don't get $50 million. He'll take 15 and win a bowl. That's how you do it.
He's not on record.
Yo, if you want to win a Super Bowl, why the fuck would you take all the money in the salary cap? Why would you do that? If you really want to win and you're passionate about winning and bringing a fucking championship to your franchise that drafted you, why would you take all the money in the pot? Can somebody fucking tell me that? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're telling me I can get $25 million, which I would be totally fucking cool with, take the other $25 million and give it out to other players to make our team better, to make us go to the Super Bowl. That's exactly what I would do. But that's me. I'm not selfish. I'm not a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not. $50 million is crazy, dog. $50 million to play fucking 17 games? That's crazy. You guys can call it what you want. $50 million is fucking bananas, dog. That's $3 million a game. What's next? $60 million? That's crazy, dog. What are we talking about?
This is just pure. This is me putting on my front office cap. Pure speculation. If you're already asking for an extension at this point,
you don't believe
he's going to ask for record money because he saw Dak Prescott got paid what, 43. So I'm guaranteeing you, they're probably going to ask for 50 the first negotiation. This is me putting on my front office cap. That doesn't mean that he's on record saying this. So I'm just putting that out there. I think that's what he's going to ask for. I think he's going to ask for that 6-7 year commitment right now. And at this point, I wouldn't give it to him either.
Bro,
you got to play out at least the 4th year before I decide that. And then honestly, I mean, if he don't fucking grow the fuck up and don't improve, I'm shipping his ass out. There will be a team that would pay at least 3 first-rounders. Now 4 after this news, probably not happening. But if someone offered them 3 right now, I don't know if they wouldn't entertain it. I think that they might.
Bro,
I'm being real serious.
Him by now.
I would give you Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. and give me all your draft picks. Fuck yeah, I would do that.
So look,
absolutely.
Here's my thing here. I'm being dead serious. I'm not even playing around right now because I know we've had our issues with Kyler Murray on this show. What has Kyler Murray done in 3 years that would warrant 3 first-round draft picks? Besides make some wow throws.
Mike,
that have he's never thrown for 30 touchdowns.
I'm just as confused as you, bro. I don't understand where this is even coming from. 4 first-round picks, $50 million. Like, to me, that's bananas, bro.
Bro,
like,
if I wouldn't offer 1 first-round pick.
I get it too, but he wants a contract and shit. But man, like, if you're going to start at $50 million, bro, like, what is Aaron Rodgers going to get on the open market? Like, he's going to restructure his deal.
The reason's simple because you don't see a potential. And listen, I know that we have our qualms with the guy, but there's definitely teams out there that think he's a franchise quarterback, and he's 24 years old. So somebody would pay that price tag because, I mean, if you think he's a franchise quarterback, there's no price you won't pay for a guy that young.
That's a good point. I'll give him that. That's fair.
Is if you don't see guys get moved like that on their first contract. It does not happen. So somebody would pay up for the skill set. The question is, would they be willing to move him? I'm not sure. So my follow-up for you guys right now is, where do you think he winds up? Because I don't know if it's a sure thing anymore after today. Today was just the latest example of they need to get a fucking reality check. They need a reality check. Kyler Murray and his agent need a reality check. They're losing leverage by the day.
He should go to Oakland A's. He should get the fuck out of football and go play baseball. You want your bread, bro? You want your bread? You want your guaranteed bread? Go get it. Get the fuck out.
I love that.
I'm serious, bro. I'm dead ass.
The Oakland A's.
Like, bro, like, you're leaving a bad taste in your teammate's mouth, bro. Like,
Pause.
That's fucking crazy, dog. I didn't mean to say that. But you know what I mean? Like, bro, like it's just like, dude, you're gonna go back in that locker room and those guys are looking at you sideways, bro. Like, I would. I'm like, bro, like, do you not want to be here, or are you just here for the paycheck? Like, I don't want to go to war with you. Do you care about winning?
Especially when you got to stand on a stool to look me in the eye.
Fam. All right, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, I think for one thing, I think he stays in Arizona this year. But like I said, I'm gonna repeat it. I think that now more so than ever before, Year 4 is going to tell us a fucking lot. Year 4 is going to tell us a lot. That would be a big chip to move, by the way. It doesn't matter how you feel. That would be a monster trade no matter what happens. That would be a monster trade. So, anyway, guys, now we move on to maybe a more provocative subject, which is hard to believe that there could be one. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. Your former Eagle and maybe former Colt? Question mark? Okay. Let me break this one down for you guys, all right? It started with, and this is the same day, by the way, Chris Mortensen was dropping fucking bombs this day. I mean, he heard from everybody this day. So, Mort bomb number 2 says, Wentz will probably be traded or released before March 19th when his $15 million base salary becomes guaranteed. His future in Indy looks, quote-unquote, bleak. All right. Then there's follow-up from a Colts reporter, Zach Kiefer. He echoes the same thing. He says that he thinks the Colts already made the decision and that this is a when, not if kind of situation. Lastly, you see a few days ago, Ian Rappaport says the Colts are actively looking to upgrade over Wentz ahead of the new league year. There were some whispers sprinkled in that, hey, the Colts are just gauging the market. They may wind up staying with them, but it sure looks like at this point, when there's smoke, there's fire. It looks like they're trying to move on from the guy, and it may be a no matter what situation. That's what it's looking like. So my question first is, what are your thoughts on these reports? And then where do you think Carson Wentz winds up this year? Like, do they keep him? Do they release him? Do they trade him? What happens? Give me your thoughts.
I was shocked when I heard.
Too, by the way.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard this, to be honest, because I thought he played outside of the last 2 games. I thought he played well this year. From weeks 4 to 16, he had 22 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and the third highest QBR between Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow. So he did play well this year. It's just he's being the scapegoat right now for them not making the playoffs. And I know a lot of the pressure and a lot of the blame gets put on the quarterback. Now, Kyler Murray can learn from him in this because he's not out unfollowing people with all these rumors and blaming all his teammates. But like my thing is like the entire year it was Jonathan Taylor is an MVP candidate. Jonathan Taylor is this offense. So we gave Jonathan Taylor all the credit for 17 games. And then the last 2 games, all the blame got put on Carson Wentz. Now, Carson Wentz didn't go out there and let up 26 points to the Jaguars. He didn't do that. The first play of the game, the Jaguars drove right down the field and punched him in the mouth with an interim head coach. So you have to put some of that blame on Frank Reich too. Now, Carson Wentz didn't play particularly well. But like at the end of the day, it's media narrative, and that's all it really is. I mean, but I don't understand though. Like, how could you really upgrade? Who would you even get that would really like? I don't want to say like put you over the top, but I don't know if there's even a viable option outside of Wentz right now.
Because now they don't have that first round pick, so you can't even make a trade anyway.
Yeah, like I don't understand the thought process of it. I mean, unless they're going to trade him and draft somebody, but you're kind of built to win now. Your team is good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like that's my thing. I don't really understand the thought process behind it. Like if you can upgrade over him, upgrade for sure. That's what I'm saying. But I just like I don't really understand where they go from here. Like I just don't understand it. That news just shocked the shit out of me.
Yeah, I mean, unless they got something up their sleeves, to me it doesn't really make too much sense because of the options out there. I mean, who are you gonna get? Jimmy G?
Yeah, like that's a lateral move. I mean, Jimmy G's. I wouldn't go that far.
Backwards, I don't know about
I was going to say it might be a slight upgrade, but let's not go there.
I don't know. I can't
I'm
say
sorry.
that.
I will emphatically say I think that's a backwards move. This is a guy, I mean, literally, Carson Wentz is absolutely better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Don't give me that shit. Jimmy Garoppolo can't throw the ball past 20 yards. Please.
But Jimmy
put that shit out. I'm not going to accept that.
But Jimmy G goes to AFC champ. I mean, he goes to NFC Championship games. And he goes to Super Bowls. He didn't win it, but he goes there, bro.
Is also
I ain't
part
see
of one of the best programs in the NFL.
But I ain't see Carson Wentz do that. I still haven't, and it's crickets as hell.
You didn't hear what I just said? The 49ers are one of the best programs in football.
So what? They weren't.
And
last
their
year
coach actually didn't crumble in the second half of the season.
They weren't last year. Last year they were nothing.
How not?
Who?
We all said that they were a Super Bowl roster.
Last year, the Niners. They didn't make the playoffs last year.
They had injuries.
We're talking about this year. Carson Wentz was a Colt this year, and Jimmy G was a 49er this year. The 49ers had a Super Bowl roster last time I checked.
I think the Colts do too.
They do, but the 49ers are better.
Bro, you put a prolific quarterback in on the Colts, bro, they're going to the playoffs and they're making noise, bro. With Jonathan Taylor, like, okay, you brought up Jonathan Taylor. I get it. Like, he was getting all the praise, blah, blah, blah. But not for nothing. If you're a quarterback and you have an MVP caliber running back, bro, that should help you out.
I'm totally with you. Like I said, obviously, you know, where we go separate a little bit is I legitimately think, I said bottom 5, bottom 7 is the absolute lowest. Their wide receiver room is not very good. Pittman's good, but like the next 3 in line are nothing special.
Yeah, you don't have Debo, you don't have Ayuk, you don't have George Kittle.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Carson Wentz did play well this year.
Bro,
like he was definitely in the better half than he was in the worst half. Now the last game, that's a whole different story. There's nothing I could say there.
I gotta be honest though, bro. Like Frank Reich, right? He brought Carson back, right? If the Colts are looking to get rid of him, to me that tells me all I need to know, bro.
That's interesting.
To me, if Frank Reich is willing to move on after a year, he saw everything he needed to see.
I'll tell you right now, it's not Frank Reich. Jim Irsay is very impatient, and he's a known Russell Wilson lover.
It's that coke.
These are facts. Jim Irsay, I mean, you could even argue that since Andrew Luck, the guy has been growing very impatient with his quarterback room. And I think they're making a mistake because I don't think there's a pathway to a better quarterback right now. I think that's the best option on the table for them. I don't think they're going to find somebody. And remember, this is year 1. The guy had a serious injury and still came back week 1. So throughout the first 3 weeks of the season, he was garbage in the first 3 weeks. I agree. Last 2 weeks of the season, he's coming off of COVID and has no game prep. He was fucking ass. I'm not excusing it, but he was ass in 5 of the most pivotal weeks of the season. Unfortunately, it's recency bias, but for the other 13, 14 games of the season, he was playing at a high level. Mike mentioned the stats. I mean, to still finish 9th in total QBR despite those 5 garbage games that we just tossed out is saying something.
Bro, he's a game
manager. He has a bottom 10 receiving core. He can still make the big throws, though. So I'm just saying there has to be some sort of improvement from year 1 to year 2, and they're now making their team into a revolving door of quarterbacks. If you know you can't upgrade the position, run it back, and you have to know that there's going to be improvement there. You have to. You saw it. There was enough to see right there. If you get another receiver in that room, don't tell me there's not going to be improvement.
Yeah,
There's
and
no way.
he's still working out with like Michael Pittman and them too. So, like, I never heard any of the players. Like, I never heard any of the players. There was no chatter that they didn't like him, and like, there was none of that. Like, I don't know what they're looking for. I mean, I get it. You need to make the playoffs. I get it. Like he deserves blame for that because he came out flat in that last game.
They do.
Like, I'm not saying that at all, but it's just strange to me because like it seemed like that him and the team got along well. Unless I missed something.
He's a game manager.
For some reason, this
he is,
player's
with high
name,
upside.
He's a game manager.
He's inconsistent.
Yeah, with a decent arm here and there. He'll show you flashes here and there about, okay, like he's got a decent arm. But overall, bro, like he's not impressive, man. Like I don't look at the Colts and be like, oh my God, we gotta watch out for Carson Wentz. I'm looking out, fuck, man, we got Jonathan Taylor. We just gotta stack the box and just let Wentz beat you. If somebody tells you we gotta let your quarterback beat you, bro, it's just not.
But I kind of disagree
bro.
Because he won a few games with his arm. He beat the
Arizona game.
The Arizona game. That's what I was trying to say. Like he won that.
Right, but that's the recipe to beat the Colts.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Can you replicate that consistently? And he hasn't really shown that in some years.
Poorly timed, guys. It's poorly timed for some reason. I've never seen anything like it. I'm not trying to stick up for the guy here, but I have not seen anything like this where the media, for some reason, this guy's name creates so much divisiveness. The narrative just it won't escape him. It won't escape him. He's either got to be elite or he's got to suck. There's no in between. Well, let me tell you something. He is the in between. He's not elite anymore, but he's a good player. You can't say that he doesn't have a ceiling to be a bottom of the pack in the top 10. He's more like 12 to 15. All right, it's okay. But that's the thing. It's like if the Colts want to enter this revolving door concept, QB purgatory is not pretty. All right, you gave up a first and third rounder for the guy. You should see it through. You can't just dismiss the project after 1 year. You can't just do that because there's nothing readily available for them. It makes no sense to me. Now, I have to get us on track though. Where do we think he's going? Because that's the question mark now. Where do we think he's going? I think we all think he's leaving at this point. Where do we think he's going?
I'm not really on that train that he's going to leave.
I'm the same way.
I feel like it's a lot of smoke and mirrors per se, possibly. Maybe because I feel like a lot of teams are looking at the quarterback position and are saying, okay, who can we get? So if we can get Carson Wentz for whatever, I think the Colts are trying to see what they can get for him. But I think ultimately they're going to keep him because who else are you going to get? You're going to get Jameis Winston?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he's staying too, to be honest. I don't. Wow. I don't get it. I really do think he's staying though. Like he was just on Instagram working out with his receivers. Like that doesn't seem like somebody that's getting ready to pack his shit.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
If he were to get traded, I would guess Denver.
I mean, the receivers don't have any say in if he goes. They're just working out with him because they're preparing for next season. Like he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I don't think they make decisions, but at the same time, it's like who else is better, bro?
I would guess Denver. If he gets traded, I think he goes to Denver.
See, I don't see that because it's the same conference. I don't know. Yeah.
Where I think is a real possibility.
He's going to Colt to be a Bronco?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
He's a Bronco.
I'll tell you what.
I
don't know what is, but he ain't shit, bro. Straight up. Mm-hmm. He ain't shit. He ain't. Like, you guys can say he's
a good quarterback.
He's this and that, bro. To me, he's a game manager. He's a decent quarterback. He ain't going to win a Super Bowl for you. And that's just how I feel about him, dude. And, like, I don't have any other proof to say otherwise. You guys could come back and refer back to 2017, but, bro, that was 5 years ago, bro.
I didn't even refer back. I went off of this.
I'm just saying, the talk is always, oh, yeah, 2017, he was an MVP, bro.
No.
Without him, the Eagles don't win a Super Bowl, bro. But, like, he didn't win the Super Bowl, bro. He didn't play in the playoffs, bro. Like, that's pressure. That's real pressure. He felt the pressure when
could be true.
He felt the pressure in Jacksonville, week 18, where he laid a fucking egg.
There you go.
To get into the
Why aren't you calling for Frank Reich's job?
Bro, he threw less than 150 yards.
And shit happens.
Bro, it's
all
the
these
2
things
and
can be
14
true,
Jaguars, bro.
Nick, it happens. They
Bro,
beat
come on,
the
dude.
1 seed.
Come on, bro.
They
We're
beat the
all
Titans.
here.
They beat the
that are
Titans,
being
Nick. The
said.
difference was that was in week 8 as opposed to week 17. It's the same fucking
That's cool.
thing.
They also beat the Patriots, and he threw for 57 passing yards, bro. What does that matter?
Oh, so you told me Mac Jones is the
Oh.
shit. He threw for 3 passes. And I don't want to hear shit about weather because you have to play in all elements.
Bro, did you
Yo.
no, honestly, did you see the weather?
No, I didn't actually.
It was actually bananas.
My eyes were low.
But at the same time, I fuck with that. I don't got a rebuttal for that. But like, some real shit though, bro. Like, it's just he's a decent quarterback.
I'm
He's
with you.
nothing flashy. He is what he is at this point. You
Perfect.
ain't winning a bowl with him, bro. And I think the Colts would look at their roster and like, fuck, man, we're kind of stacked, bro. We got a good defense. We got Michael Pittman. We got a couple pieces. Our offensive line is pretty decent. Like, we got Quentin Nelson, who's a fucking all-pro. We got Jonathan Taylor, who was in the MVP conversation. Like, we got the pieces. All we need is really a quarterback, like a lethal quarterback that can come in here, change his franchise, elevate the players around him, and go on a run. Like, to me, Carson's not that guy, bro. He's not going to walk into the door and be like, oh, yeah, we're ready to go to fucking war. We're ready to go to the bowl. Like, when he walks in the door, you're looking at like, yeah, bro, we're ready to go 8-8. We're ready to go 8-9, bro. 9-8.
Oh my god.
Wild card. Let's see if we can get hot towards the stretch and possibly make a run.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're getting out of him, bro. You're not getting a guy that's fucking coming in there and changing your franchise. That's just the bottom line, and that's just how I feel about it.
Yo, and all these things can be true, believe it or not. But they still went 9-3 over those 12 weeks that we just talked about. And those were 12 weeks in which they actually had a full sample of practice, him being with the team forming some chemistry, and they were the hottest team in the NFL for over a month of the season. It just so happens that their losses were very poorly timed. I think, actually, I'm going to agree that I think that they're going to come to their senses and realize that he's the best option that they have. I think he's going to wind up with the Colts, but if he doesn't, I think that a low-key team that would have interest would be the Bucs, because Bruce Arians is on record saying he loves Wentz's game. I think the Bucs would be interested in Carson Wentz, and I'm not saying it would happen, but I'm just telling you, I think that the
Bro.
Broncos, the Bucs would be the 2 teams most interested,
What's wrong?
and the
I'm
Steelers,
sorry.
Steelers would be a good fit if they get an offensive line. That's the kind of quarterback they look for. He draws Big Ben comparisons all the time. I mean, his story's not over. He can still develop into something better.
Bro, imagine
But
going
middle
from
of the
Tom
pack.
Brady to Carson Wentz, bro. Like, I would be
but
devastated if I
imagine-
was a Bucs fan.
Imagine going to that surrounding group, though.
Mac Jones
I
did
can't
fine.
imagine
Who?
he's going to
Mac
throw
Jones.
30 touchdowns there if he goes there.
I fuck with Mac Jones.
All right, we got to move on. We got to move on.
yo,
We
I
got
fuck
one
with
more.
Mac,
We got to hit one more subject tonight, okay? Because there's one more guy that we've been putting on hold. This may be the biggest name of the offseason, not named Aaron Rodgers. All right?
He's washed.
Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, guys. This is getting interesting by the day. All right. The Bucs have had internal conversations on Russell Wilson. Albert Breer saying he might wind up as an Eagle. There's a lot of buzz growing there. The teams that were supposedly on his list of, the teams that he wanted to go to, all of a sudden don't look like remarkable destinations for him anymore. The Seahawks are on record wanting him back. They say that Pete Carroll's relationship is as good as ever with him right now. So it's all over the place. It's all over the place. We have to kind of, I don't know. We have to decide what we're thinking of this. So, what are your thoughts? And where do you think Russell Wilson winds up? I think the consensus right now is that he's back in Seattle, but things are pretty interesting. Things are getting thrown around. So, what are we thinking about this whole situation? Is it time to revisit this? What are we thinking?
I'll be honest with you, man. If I'm Seattle and I can get four first-round picks for Russell Wilson, I send him home tonight. That's how I feel about it. 4 first-round picks for Russell Wilson? Fuck yeah, bro. Sign me up. 4 first-round picks. That's a lot of capital, bro. Like, you can move around.
That was Colin Cowherd.
Well,
Here,
I'm just
let me
saying.
make sure the audience knows this. Colin Cowherd went out and said the Eagles, for example, are one team that should give up 4 first-rounders for Russell Wilson. And we all know he's not going to be worth 4 first-rounders. So let's shut that shit down right now here at P&I. They're not getting 4 first-rounders for Russell Wilson. I promise.
Well, even if they got
I'll
3,
continue.
like, is 3 an option? Like, if I'm
Possibly.
if I have to give up 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, I'm not doing it. Like, I think that the talk is with because during the season there was talks that he was leaving the Seahawks. Why was he leaving the Seahawks? Because he was playing poorly. But then the last 3 games, he kind of changed the narrative a bit. He started to play a little bit better. He had 9 touchdowns versus 1 interception. But to me, like, I think that's fool's gold, bro. I think if you give up 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, that's fool's gold. Straight the fuck up. The last 3 games that he played, he played really well. It was against the Bears, the Lions, and the Cardinals. And the Cardinals, they were spiraling down the fucking the fucking slide the last fucking half of the season. So to me, I mean, look at the teams they played and look how he performed. He played great, but throughout the whole year, I mean, he was regular. Like he was mediocre, middle of the pack, dude, bro. He wasn't anything. He wasn't Russell Wilson. Not like we've seen previously. He just wasn't. So, like, and you got DK Metcalf, you got Tyler Lockett, like, you got weapons. So, like, for me, it's just like, I don't know, man. I would take the 3 first-round picks, though. For me, I build that.
Where do you think he's going, Nick?
Where do I think he's going? If it's
right now, gut feel. Right now, it could be Seattle.
There is too many. Like, yeah. I think he's gonna stay in Seattle. I don't think anybody is going to be willing to give up 3 first-round picks. I don't think anybody has the capital except for the Eagles. The Eagles make the most sense because the Eagles have the draft capital to do it. But for me, like, I think he's staying in Seattle. I think he actually wants to stay in Seattle too, in my opinion. So I think he's staying.
I'm echoing everything you just said. I would never do that for Russell Wilson right now. I don't understand it, to be honest. You got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and you can't, and you're a mediocre ass offense. However, I think he's going to the Giants because they could dangle Saquon Barkley
and Daniel Jones
because they're going to decline his 5th-year option, and that's where I think he's going. I think they're going to send Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and like a first round pick or something like that, 2 first-round picks, because New York needs to make a splash. I think Russell Wilson will accept a trade there because they got Dable. They have a good wide receiving core, even though they can't stay healthy, and it's good for his brand.
So you think Chris Carson's done? They just signed him to a long year deal.
Maybe they find a way to include him in there, or they trade him too. I don't know, but I feel like the Giants could. I feel like the Giants have it because of Saquon Barkley, and I'm not a Saquon Barkley guy. That's just me. But
are you going off the fact that he dates Sierra, or he's married to Sierra, and she's a star, and the New York is appeal?
No. Now that you just said that, though,
makes sense.
That goes more into what I was saying.
That was the first thing I thought of when you mentioned the Giants.
Me, it was just like branding. It's just branding.
Exactly.
The Giants are they've been a joke for how long? The last 5, 6, 7 years? They're a joke. So it's like,
it's not a clown show.
Yeah, it is a clown show. Yeah, you hired Joe Judge, Joe Sludge.
Bro.
You got I mean, you got a squad running 2 quarterback sneaks on 3rd down. I know. He didn't want to fumble, and he had a bad quarterback in there, Jake from State Farm. But so I just like
it's just a theory of mine of why he did it, but whatever.
I think it is whoever pays up that for Russell Wilson, God bless your soul.
Damn, I can't believe this shade, guys. I had to look further into this, and I had to actually watch a little bit of the game film too. I had to look at this because I'm not so convinced that he's done. I don't agree with you at all.
I didn't say he was washed.
I think but I think there's a lot of people. There's a conception that he's washed or that he was mediocre even this season. I need to read this to you. Okay, before injury, 72% completion percentage, 10 tutties, 1 pick, 125 rating. Okay. That's before the injury. 5 games into the season, they look like regular Seahawks, okay? 2 games after, absolute garbage. He came back early from the thumb injury. Played like absolute shit, 55 QB rating, not even worth mentioning the other stats. It was garbage. He was horrible. But from there on, 7 game samples, okay? 65% completion, 15 tutties, 3 picks, 104 rating. overall numbers, if you take out the 2 games that he came back early, overall numbers, overall body of work, that's 25 tutties versus 4 picks and approximately a 67% completion percentage. Well over 100 QB rating. I mean, this is blasphemy. This is fucking narrative again. This is the media getting to everybody. This is a fucking top 3 quarterback in the league.
Absolutely.
Top 3.
You are,
Fam.
Top 3.
Bro.
I said it again.
Bro.
He did not have a drop-off.
As of
There was
Wednesday,
no drop-off.
As
This is
of
crazy.
Wednesday,
I'm ending this.
Bro.
This is Mike McIntyre as of Wednesday.
There
That's how
is-
he will be introduced
No,
moving
There's
forward.
no way you believe he's a top 3 quarterback at this
25
moment
and
right
4.
now.
25 and 4.
Bro, not for nothing.
25 and
I
4
would take
in
Matthew
12
Stafford
games.
over Russell Wilson right now, and I ain't fucking cap. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. He got a bowl, bro, recently. Got a bowl, bro. And he played fucking well, dude.
You're dead ass.
That
Listen,
is.
he goes somewhere else. One of these teams, Bucks, Broncos, Super Bowl contender instantly. But I'll tell you where he's going. I will tell you where the fuck he's going, and I'm certain of it. I'm certain.
Oh my God.
Put it on the fucking board. I'm certain this is happening, and everybody would be happy with this deal. If it happened, everybody would be happy with this. Russell Wilson is going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh my God.
I am betting this right now. Go out there and place your bet. I think it's what, plus 1,500? They're not even in the fucking top 5 for the next teams. I can't believe it's not even getting any buzz. They have the compensation. It's going to be Russell Wilson to the Eagles for 2 first-rounders. That's right, only 2. The Eagles keep a first-rounder this year. And then Jalen Hurts will be in this deal. So it'll be 2 first-rounders, Jalen Hurts, and Andre Dillard for Russell Wilson, who they will re-up for at least 5 years.
He's got to waive his no trade
How
clause.
does this work? How does it work, guys? How does it work?
See, like, I hate that for
19
the
million in
Eagles.
cap. Yo,
Bro.
just listen. Hear me out.
All
Hear
right,
me
go
out. And
ahead.
you can shit on my deal all
Go
you want
ahead.
right
I'm
now.
not going to shit on your deal. I just want to shit on the whole fucking thing in general, but go ahead. Not your take, but go ahead.
Feel free. Listen, this doesn't mean that I want it to happen. I do actually want him to be an Eagle, but I think that this is going to happen. This is honestly, this is based on everything I see in here. 19 million in cap this year. It's a simple, I mean, it's really, the Eagles have to make about another 10 million in cap room, which is nothing. Jalen Hurts is a perfect fit for what Seattle wants to run offensively. They want to be a team that runs the ball 60% of the time. This is why Russ is sick of that team. They don't throw the football. They don't want to throw the football for some godforsaken reason. They don't want to use his talents.
Bro,
Jalen Hurts is a perfect fit over there. They get 2 years to see if he's the real deal. They could extend him. He's 24 years old. They get Jalen Hurts. They get Andre Dillard, who's possibly a building block at left tackle. Remember, Dwayne Brown's 42. Or not 42. I think he's 39, 40, whatever. He's not the answer at left tackle anymore. They get 2 first-rounders, and the Eagles, both sides win this year because Russ don't want to stay there anymore. The Eagles get a franchise quarterback who would make them instantly the second-best team in the NFC. Instantly. Even with all the hate you might have for the guy, the NFC's wide open. They'd be the second-best team right now with Russell Wilson. They'd be the second-best team. They're not all that far off.
You think they're
And they
better than
have a
Dallas?
Absolutely, if they get Russell Wilson. Absolutely. How not? It's the best offensive line he's ever played with in his career. He had 25 and 4 last year in a fucking garbage situation. Garbage.
Yeah, but he's also going from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to fucking Devontae Smith and Kez Watkins.
He would make
DK Metcalf had a good year this year.
He would make
because
Devontae
DK Metcalf is apparently available for a first rounder right now. They want to move on from the guy.
Fuck that.
Interesting. But
I
I'm just
traded no
saying.
first round pick for him.
Listen, the Eagles keep their whole fucking draft class. It's like giving away house money. You're giving away a pick you acquired in the Dolphins deal, basically for free because they're idiots. You're giving away the pick that you got for Carson Wentz, and you're keeping your whole draft. You keep 1st through 7. You have 9 picks. You keep your first rounder for this year. Who loses? Who loses?
Do you think Russell Wilson waives his no trade clause?
Absolutely. And Adam Schefter went on record after he put out that supposed list saying that the Eagles would be a team that he would accept a trade to. This was not long after the fact. Look at all those situations of the teams there. What was it? The Bears? Who the fuck else was on there? I mean, four of the 5 teams on there no longer are in position to acquire Russell Wilson.
See, like,
and they suck.
I hate.
I mean, the Giants. He's going to go to the Giants. They're a fucking heaping pile of shit.
I hate this talk because it's not fair to Jalen Hurts, bro. Like, why does he get a one and done fucking deal, but Kyler Murray can do the same shit year in and year out, and then ask for $50 million and have job security? How come Jalen Hurts don't have that?
Well, to be fair, I think if the Cardinals were to try and get Russell Wilson, they would trade Kyler Murray for him.
No, I'm not trying to be fair because that is not fair.
I'm with you.
Why does he only get a 1-year sample versus a guy that does it for 3 years, then bitches his way to try to get a big contract for what, bro? You didn't do nothing. So why does he have job security and Jalen Hurts is automatically axed?
Yeah, but let's not make this about Kyler. Like, Nick,
I'm not.
I'm just telling you what I think will happen.
I'm putting the situation at hand. Why would the Eagles look to move on from Jalen Hurts? He got you to the playoffs.
Because here's why, Nick. Look at the last 2 Super Bowl champions. They instantly, as soon as they got an elite quarterback, they won the fucking bowl. It's about the bowl, baby. We're in it to win the bowl.
So you honestly think that if Russell Wilson was on the Eagles, they're going to go to the Super Bowl?
They would have a shot. They have a whole draft class, and they could instantly create $20 million in cap after extending Russell Wilson. Like, who loses that deal? Who loses? The Eagles want to be a Super Bowl contender, right?
Yeah, no,
that's the goal.
It's interesting to think about.
They'd be the second best team behind the Rams right now if they get Russell Wilson.
Because with the cap space,
the whole offensive line.
With the cap space, you could still add key pieces.
So why don't
you could add anybody?
So why
you
don't
could give up your second for Calvin Ridley? You could give up your third first for DK Metcalf if you want. You could draft somebody. You can go out and get that second wideout. I guarantee you they get one. They get another one. But Russell Wilson makes all those counterparts better to begin with. Dallas Goedert was underused. Devontae Smith was underused. Kes Watkins would even be better. Kes Watkins.
So if his Super Bowl chances are riding down to an offensive line, then why don't he just stay in Seattle and they could just beef up the offensive line? You got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, cuz. The fuck you want?
Look at the history.
No. What do you want?
He's been there for over a decade and he hasn't had one offensive line. That's not their philosophy.
You got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and you, like, I don't get that, bro.
They want to run the football, though.
Exactly. So then somebody on that fucking offensive coordinator should get the fuck out of there. Why are you running the football? You got 2 number 1 wide receivers, and you got the 3rd best quarterback in the game, and yet you're going to run the football? It don't make any fucking sense, bro. It don't make sense to me.
That's my point.
So why get rid of him?
Pete Carroll wants to run the football, so you either get rid of Pete Carroll or you get rid of Russell Wilson. Pete Carroll and the Seahawks want to run the football. That's why they fired Schottenheimer, and that's why Russell Wilson's pissed.
But that's my
point.
Because
that's when the offense finally opened. It was when they finally let him throw the football.
Correct. So
it was with Brian Schottenheimer, his guy.
If it's
and
so
they canned
rare,
him because they want to run the ball.
I get it, Mike. I get it, bro. If it's so rare to find a quarterback like Russell Wilson, why would you get rid of somebody like that and keep Pete Carroll?
Exactly. If you have a top fucking 5 player in the league, why are you not using him properly? It will never make sense. He was playing MVP ball when it decided to become a rushing offense 2 years ago. It don't make any sense. And before this year, where he had up and down play coming off of that surgery, before that, everybody widely accepted him as a top 5 player in the league. Suddenly now he's fucking washed. And I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand. I'm just telling you what I think will happen. Do I think the Eagles should do it if he's available? And it doesn't cost them all 3 of their picks? Absolutely. We all know what Jalen Hurts is probably going to be. It's a gut check. Would I rather have Russell Wilson for the next 7 years, or would I rather have Jalen Hurts? It's simple. I want to win a Super Bowl.
I don't know, bro. To me,
how could you argue he wouldn't make them a Super Bowl contender?
Because it's just like, dude, you can't just plug in Russell Wilson on the Eagles and all say, yeah, they're going to be a Super Bowl team. That just doesn't work like that, bro.
They said you can't plug in Tom Brady on the Bucs and be a Super Bowl team. They said you can't plug in Matthew Stafford on the Rams and be a Super Bowl team.
Well,
This is where the league's going.
I don't know if they said that about Stafford, but Brady they did because that was like the blueprint. But then when Stafford did it, was like, okay, like they're loaded. Stafford, he could ball out. Yo, they have a chance to go to Super Bowl. So like, but I see what you're saying.
They said they
it's
overpaid for Stafford.
Yeah, like I say, it's the formula to win. I get it, but like I don't see the Eagles being that much better, you know, to the point where they're Super Bowl like or
What
bust.
changes?
What changes?
What changes?
Is, to
they
me,
don't lose anything. They lose Hurts and Dillard and 2 first-rounders that were house money. They keep one of the best offensive lines in football. They need a pass rusher. Yes, they get that in the first round easily. They need another receiver.
Is Jason
you can go out and get a
retiring?
veteran. You could draft in the second round.
Like Jason
have running
McKelsey,
backs,
he's been flirting with retirement.
Yeah, he not.
Lane Johnson's getting up there.
Lane Johnson's still
a top 5 tackle.
Still getting up there though. You know what I mean? Like it takes 1 year to
They don't
crumble,
lose
bro.
nothing.
You know what I mean? But like what I'm saying is like he's going from the Seahawks weapons to the Eagles. Like
No, look, I'm with you on that because
like,
I said the
don't
same
get that,
thing.
bro.
Like to me, adding Russell Wilson doesn't make them a Super Bowl contender. I would make them favorites in the East, to be honest, because Dallas is just poorly coached, and I have no faith that they'll ever get it together. But that's just where I
Their
am.
roster
and now they're
is better than Dallas's
And they're gonna
outside
be-
of the quarterback.
They're going to be sitting here talking
Overall
about
roster.
They're going to be sitting here talking about they might cut Amari Cooper to save the cap hit because they're getting ready to enter cap hell with Zeke and Dak. So
I don't know. I don't know if the Eagles have a better roster than Dallas, bro.
I just said
I don't know
take
about
out the quarterback, and what's different? They have better receivers. What else? What's different?
I would take their running backs too.
Zeke is washed.
But I would take Pollard.
The Eagles' running backs are more than serviceable.
good.
I'm just
well,
saying.
I would take
roster.
Zeke and Pollard unless you give me Boston Scott, our best running back.
And I'll take Dallas.
Fine.
I'll
Yo,
take
give me
Dallas D-line
Gainwell
too.
and Scott with this offensive line versus
my
Zeke
God.
with that offensive line.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying. There's not much different between
No,
the
you
two
make
teams.
it, Mike. You make
I
a
mean,
compelling
bro,
argument.
yeah.
I hope it happens just because
It would be fun to talk about.
that would be
Yo,
fucking
yeah,
awesome.
sure. But like,
But if that really happens
Before-
that way, I don't even know what to say.
No
to
one
that.
else can offer that package. They get a guy that they might see as their franchise QB because there are teams that probably think they could build around Jalen Hurts. And I don't think the Eagles think that they can't either. I just think that they reserve the right to explore the market, and they think that there's a few better guys out there. I think if they wind up coming up short, I think they're still happy. But when a guy like Russell Wilson is available on the market, you have to pay attention to it. It doesn't happen. It's the same concept of a 24-year-old possible franchise quarterback becoming available. The Eagles are probably exploring that. I don't think it's their first option, though. I think they want Russell Wilson. And they are on record. Let me remind this audience. The Eagles wanted Russell Wilson. They wanted him desperately, and Howie missed because he thought he was going to fall to them. The Seahawks traded up to take Russell Wilson. The Eagles fell. Nick Foles fell on the Eagles' lap that year. They wanted Russell Wilson. This is a known fact. He's on record saying it. So my last question for you before we cut out, because we're a little over time, is name who would be better than the Philadelphia Eagles next season. If this deal happens, who would be better than the Eagles? I got the Rams, and that's it. I don't have anyone else definitively better than the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC if they make this proposed deal.
well, I don't think the Niners are going anywhere.
Yeah, but they got Trey Lance at quarterback.
If Aaron Rodgers comes back, I would take Green Bay.
What if he doesn't, though?
Well, then what if
You
he
and I
goes-
are on record saying he's out. Let's assume Rodgers is out,
okay.
Brady's out,
Okay.
and this trade happens.
Okay.
Name one team better than the Eagles besides the LA Rams, who I will say is better.
I
it.
probably
That's the only team.
probably would say Dallas. I would say Dallas.
I can't, man.
I would say Dallas.
The Eagles.
Continuity
The Eagles.
matters.
No, I don't have nothing to say. about
Another year with CeeDee Lamb, like bro, like
If they cut
legit.
Amari Cooper, that'll be one of the worst mistakes they've ever made.
I don't think that's going to happen. But not for
I will.
nothing.
19 million.
He's kind of he's kind of been up and down. Like he's been in and out of the lineup too. So I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting, but like
Right?
yeah, I mean, Look, bro.
Think of the Eagles here, not me. Think of the Eagles front office.
Mikey P, you make a great argument, bro, and I really don't have like much of a rebuttal, but I would say it would be the Rams, and I would say possibly Dallas. So even
at worst, top 3.
Because I think Dallas is still a good team.
Yeah, for me, Dallas. It's not the talent; it's the coaches.
I think the Niners are still legit. Like, I definitely think the Niners are legit.
Yeah, if they keep Jimmy G.
I would probably chalk them up as top 4 right now. I'd have no problem saying the Niners are top 4. But I'm just telling you, the Eagles will be the second best team instantly, with the potential to do more. I mean, the Rams are going to have some holes there. Offensive line especially.
Let's play a scenario quick. Carson Wentz goes to Tampa Bay with that roster. They keep their free agents. They get Chris Godwin back. They get Ryan Jensen back. They get a couple more pieces. Carlton Davis. You put Carson Wentz on Tampa Bay. Russell Wilson goes to the Eagles. Who's better?
See, that's interesting, but I would say the Eagles are slightly better there because I still expect that they're going to be able to plug all these different positions that we're talking about. They're not all that far off. The Bucs roster as a whole will be better, but the substantial gain at quarterback, it cannot be understated. That's the whole reason why we keep hearing this shit, because the Eagles were exploring quarterback upgrades before Jalen Hurts even stepped on the field this year. They were doing it during the season.
I want to hear.
I'm just saying, put your Eagles front office cap on right now. You and I were there. We know how they operate. This is the most important position to them.
So here's the thing. I actually think the best thing for Carson Wentz if he got traded would be the Buccaneers. If they brought the whole team back and added Carson Wentz, I would say the Bucs are. Because I watched Bruce Arians do to Carson Palmer after he had some knee trouble. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't he do that with Carson Wentz?
That's great.
He could.
That's awesome, man.
And they lost Ali Marpet, by the way.
Yeah.
Ali Marpet just retired, and he's a legit Pro Bowl guard.
They
just lost
legit,
him.
Bro.
I
wonder if Brady knew about that, and he was like, "Fuck it, he's gone too. I'm out, bro."
He probably did, dude. He's the smartest guy in the room at all times.
I know he knows
all times.
He knows his guys. I mean, that's a great point, though. I mean, that's definitely a question we could ask, later down the road if it does happen. Like, I'm rooting for it just because, like, it would give us some more ammo to talk shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great topic. It's a great topic.
Yo, I can at least assure you this much. This is about to be the craziest fucking season of quarterback movement we have ever seen. So buckle up. I'm dead serious. Every team that's been watching what's unfolded the last 2 years, they see what they can do with just a change at quarterback. Every team is looking. Look, the NFL, just watch how they developed over generations. The NFL is a copycat league. The new trend is going out and getting an elite quarterback. And this is what everyone's going to be trying to do. This is not just the Eagles. The Eagles believe this philosophy more than anybody, but the Eagles are not the only team that are going to be doing it. I promise you.
Yeah, Mikey P, no cap. You really think he's the third best player in the league?
Right now? I said entering the season. Right now, though, I said quarterback.
Yeah.
I would have no problem making the case. I would have rebuttal, and that's fine. But I would be able to make a case. That's my point. Is if you go back and watch, this guy can still throw fucking 70-yard bombs on a seed. It's still there. Mm-hmm. We saw a guy that struggled coming off of a serious thumb injury that would have ended most people's seasons. I'm not excusing him. He played like fucking ass. He should have sat out longer if that was the case. That's why, I mean, unfortunately, I don't want to make excuses for him. That's why. Like,
yeah.
If you're out on the field, you got to perform him. But I mean, the case is there. 25-4.
Quick question, just one name. I just want to hear it. Who are you taking next year, Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson?
I would take Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, I think everybody would.
Oh no,
so I don't think it's
taking Russell Wilson
over Aaron Rodgers.
100%,
bro. Come on.
Are you saying? 100%. Are you saying like? Frame the question differently. Like what are we
who would you
here?
Want next year to lead your franchise?
Who would I rather have?
Wilson.
Like, who do you trust more to go to the Super Bowl?
Russell Wilson.
It's
not even a question.
What?
It's not even a question.
Bro,
I'd rather have Russell Wilson.
It's not even a question.
Over Aaron
Rodgers.
Not even a question.
I would rather have Russell Wilson right now. I would rather have Russell Wilson. I know that I'm going to have him for another 5 years minimum.
No. I'm talking about...
And he brings instant credibility and leadership.
No, I'm talking about, next year they're retiring. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are going to retire. You have 1 year to win a Super Bowl. Who do you trust more?
Russell Wilson. Not even a question, bro.
I would say Russell Wilson, too. Even
blunder
though Rodgers,
after blunder
you could argue the talent.
If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Eagles, you You don't think they're better than with Russell Wilson?
I don't trust them with Aaron Rodgers.
So you would trust them with Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
I think Russell Wilson's a better fit. I really do.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And the talent drop off is not significant enough for me to say otherwise, because there was none. There was no drop off. This is all about narrative. You're being fed this narrative, and it takes a little bit of extra research like that. Fucking 25 touchdowns and 4 picks this year on a supposed off year where he's washed. He was himself as the season began. Promise.
I would take Aaron Rodgers, bro.
And he'll be bounced in the first round, and then he's going to go on a 12-day cleanse. He's only going to eat plants, and you're going to be in the same boat because I have 10 years of evidence of not being able to be in a foxhole with this dude.
So what's that mean?
But
It means it's diva activity.
Bro, Russell Wilson hasn't won a Super Bowl since I was getting hazed at Pyland
Really?
in 2014.
Oh, and the
Yeah.
last time Aaron Rodgers...
That was the last time he won a Super Bowl.
And the last time Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl, we were having lunch at Highland.
Well, that's true. Yeah, no, I'm not, but that's still a long ass time.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
But
what was more recent?
But Aaron Rodgers has been more successful in the NFL since then.
No, because Russell Wilson...
I don't know if we could argue
Russell Wilson
that.
got back to another bowl.
True. That's true.
Russell Wilson doing more with less, too.
But, like, he also won, like, back-to-back MVPs, bro. Like, he won, like, 3 MVPs in that time span. Or
Oh, that's great.
4 MVPs.
That's great. That's cute.
Yeah, that means, like, yo, I was the best in regular season. Yeah.
Regular season.
Right, no.
Yeah, I'm talking about the playoffs. I'm a playoff guy.
I get it. But if you're talking about, if you have a good team around you, like, look, there was a lot of talks about Green Bay not having the right pieces, but if you had a good team around you, like the Eagles that we were talking about, why wouldn't they be favorites in the NFC, bro?
Here, I'll
They still
simplify it
would.
right now.
I thought.
Right now.
I'm just saying that I would take Wilson over Rodgers, but they would still be favorites.
But where is their trust factor lie?
Right now, we're going off the path.
I love this
Right
fucking
now, I'm
path.
telling
This
you,
is just fucking crazy shit.
I know,
we
I
spit.
love it too. I love it. We've been holding this subject for everybody. Okay, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, don't matter who the fuck. If an elite quarterback goes to the Eagles, they will be instantly the second best team in the NFC. It could be Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. I don't give a fuck. That's the easy way to simplify it for everybody. But this is a great discussion. I encourage the audience to DM us, comment, let us know what you're thinking here. Is Mikey P fucking crazy for suggesting that trade? Is it unreasonable? Fucking let me know. I'll hash it out with you. Let's fucking go.
Hey,
All right?
hey.
Let's
I
go.
love that energy, Mikey P. I wish we had that
I
all
told
show,
you.
dog.
Yo,
I'll
I've
hash it
been
out with
waiting.
you. That's all.
I've been saying this for a long time. I've been waiting to say this on the show. All right. Anyway,
I like hash.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. We got to cut out. This is fucking phenomenal. Okay.
I love you guys.
Anyway, episode fucking 60, full of energy. 60 fucking episodes. Thank you so much. All right. Courtesy of P&I. And that is brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New users who sign up today for Prize Picks using the promo code ICONIC will get an instant deposit match of 100% up to $100. That's promo code ICONIC. You know this shit by now, okay? Go fucking play on Prize Picks. Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy. Also, we were live tonight on the Props Network at propshq.com. Go check us out there. Subscribe to our show. Last but not least, you already know this from earlier. I'm going to repeat it. Our next show is Wednesday. That's 2 days from now. Wednesday, March 2nd, 8 p.m. Next show, we'll let you know on social. Until then, I got to pass it off to Nick Theories because we're way over time now. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for that, Mike. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We're also available on propshq.com, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher, and all that other shit. Also, follow us on all of our socials, such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And we will see you guys Wednesday night at P&I, baby.